Just wanted to share something very significant today. Today is the 5th of April 2019 and Pip and I are down at the Seine, just reminiscing over a very specific call that God gave us to France. 2012 we came to Paris to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. And it was while we were here that God spoke to us about France. And then 2 years later we were in a meeting on the Sunshine Coast, and we hadn't told anybody about this call to France, but a prophetic lady, Maria Mason, came and shared that morning, and we got to speak with her at morning tea. And we talked about doing ministry overseas. That's all we said. Maria didn't know us and we didn't know her. And so we chatted and then didn't say anything about France. She walked away, and about 2 minutes later she came back to us and says, as I walked away, God gave me a vision and showed me that God is sending you to France. And so that happened 2 years after our first visit to Paris. And then roll forward to the 15th of October last year, and on the night that we moved into our apartment in Paris, our own apartment, God began to speak to Pip about a word from Ezekiel, and so I'm going to get her to share that.
Okay, so you can't see me, but I'm going to just show you a little bit about where we are. There's Notre Dame looking gorgeous. So on the night we moved into our apartment, I asked the Lord, I was just so tired, and I said, Lord, you just need to tell me a bedtime story. So he reminded me of Ezekiel 1 verse 1, which talks about being the 5th day of the 4th month of the 30th year. He was down at the river praying, which is why we're down here at the river. And I thought, wow, that's the 30th year. That was the year that the Lord, our wedding anniversary, we came to Paris, and totally unexpectedly God spoke to us about coming here. So I thought, oh wow, that's amazing. So the next morning I was sharing with Graham and I told him about it, and he said, well, that's really interesting because that's when that word from Maria Mason was. It was the 30th year, sorry, the 5th day of the 4th month. So then we thought, oh, let's look it up.
So I found the New Living Translation,
yeah.
And it was even more specific. It said on the 31st of July. And the amazing thing about that is that the 31st of July is our wedding anniversary. And so it was putting all the numbers together. It was talking about the 30th year, which is when we first received that call to come to Paris, to France. And then it talked about the 5th day of the 4th month. And then it became even more specific when it said on the 31st of July, which, as we've said, was our wedding anniversary. Quite a remarkable sequence of numbers, all wrapped together in a prophetic word about coming to France. And so we are down here today on the 5th day of the 4th month, the 5th of April, just walking and praying and just asking God to pour out His Spirit upon this great nation.
And Ezekiel said the heavens opened up, so we're really praying that God will speak to us today.
Yeah. So join with us, because that's why we're here. We're here to see God's Spirit poured out upon this nation. We're here to pray for revival, and that's what we believe in.
Bless you guys.
Thank you for watching and sharing this little video with you guys today. And we bless you. Talk to you soon.
Okay.